Hey everyone! I've really enjoyed making these crochet bees, a name I have my friend to thank for, and sharing them with you all. However, I realize they may be difficult to make at home since the videos are so sped up. This video will just be over some skills I use to make the crochet bees. One of the best parts of making them is just being creative with the materials I have. You can be super flexible with this, like I am, as I am by no means a professional. So firstly, the stitches you will need to know are the single and double stitch, magic circle, and variations of these. I do my magic circle a bit strangely, just out of preference. It's also a bit easier for beginners. The stitches also may be done twice in the same previous stitch, or skip a previous stitch to make the area wider or to shrink it. I suggest finding a sphere tutorial for in-depth on this, or eventually I can make an in-depth tutorial. Here I'm finishing up that magic circle. And here, starting that double crochet. There should be 3 at the top once you've done this. And then after looping another time, there should be 2. And then here will be an example of a single crochet. I don't actually use a single crochet in this part of the design, but it's here to just let you know. So, one of the tasks that requires these skills is making the legs. The legs are made first before the body. The legs include making a magic circle, doing a row with a double stitch in each previous stitch, closing it off, and then doing rows of double stitches on top until you get your desired height. So here is just adding in new yarn. I like to tie it off, you don't have to. So here I'm going to start making the body. After making the legs, both legs, a single stitch will be done 3 times between the legs to start the body. This can be altered depending on the size of your character. I often will change how many rows I do or how many stitches I make to alter the wideness and height of the crochet bees. In that single stitch row, you will do another row of single stitches to attach both sides of the legs. Then do a double stitch around all of it and repeat until you get the height that you want. Here I'm starting that double crochet row, and I'm going to crochet all the way around. So now, once you've got your desired height, a little bit shorter than the desired height, we'll be closing off the top of the body. So to do this, I do a variation of a skipping stitch where I put my needle through one previous stitch and then another and crochet a double or single stitch on top. This leaves less of a gap. So now, the next part will be the arms. The arms are done in a similar way to the legs, except once you get to a certain height, you will leave an opening to attach the arms to the body. This will be done by starting a new row while the previous one was still in progress, as you skip 4 to 5 previous stitches as shown. Once you've done this, you can start to make the top smaller for attachment to the arm. Make sure when you tie off the arm, you leave a long thread attached to it of around 15 inches. Attaching the arms is also a pretty simple skill. I will just leave a long piece of yarn at the top where I closed off the arms for attaching. I will pull the long piece of yarn through both the arm and the body where I want it to go after stuffing it and attach it to the body. The last skill that's common across crochet bees is adding hair to the head. You can add the arms first or the head, it's completely up to you. For this, I typically use a different kind of yarn than the chenille for the crochet bees, but hair is creative and fun to make different textures and styles, so I encourage creativity here. I will start by making rows of yarn at a little over the desired length of hair. Then once I have enough, I will separate strands to be attached. I will take them and loop under the stitch on the head and tie them into a knot at the middle to secure them. Then I repeat this process until I've got the desired amount of hair, which changes for each character. I would suggest making one row at the part and then on either side, one row, for a bit more volume as I have done here. The hair looks full without having to add hair to the whole scalp. These are designed so they can be made with things you might already have, and you're free to change things up and add fun accessories. Thanks for watching, and I really hope this was helpful.